Welcome back, everybody, to Weird Foreign Doctor Simulator 2019. I'm your pal, C. Jacobs, and I've got guests with me again. Everybody does that. Everybody I have on for a Let's Play video always starts with the awkward silence. Oh.
Yeah, because we didn't talk to each other who introduces himself first.
Last video I pointed to you and gave you the signal to do so.
Yeah.
But this video I thought it would be funny if just no one would start.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Shall I? Will you?
Do we need to introduce ourselves again?
No,
Okay.
you do not need to introduce yourselves again. Michael and Phil are back, everybody, for one more exciting journey through Jericho City.
Where you hopefully die a lot.
You know, it's funny you say that. I don't.
He's a professional.
Yeah, and he trained
trained.
way. Like,
Yeah.
come on, let's be honest. All those Let's Players who, play through the game twice or 3 times and then, play it again.
Posers, just posers.
Yeah, just posers. This is all so fake. And then they say, they've become so good, and then it's like, yeah, that's just such an easy game. I don't die at all. While they have played through the whole game twice before.
And like this slow walking, this cinematic camera movement. No one would play like that. They would all start jumping against the walls.
Yeah, and also be afraid of each goddamn enemy.
Oh my god, I told you guys you were free to make fun of me, but I didn't think you'd actually do it. Oh, my confidence, it's draining from me as we speak.
We told you we had to push lunch for this recording. We had to push it back. So we are hungry, and we are angry, so we are hangry. You have to deal with that.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if I'm hangry, that's not a good. You don't want to see me angry.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Understand. Got it. So, you're actually correct. That's a good point, and something I was going to mention later is, despite how good at this game I may seem, this is... I did multiple takes of running through these areas, and you're seeing the best one. So... This is not the realistic player experience of the Surge 2. There is a lot more screaming and flailing involved if you're playing it for yourself. But it's fun screaming and flailing.
That reminds me a bit of when Thorsten back in the days for the Surge 1 was recording the footage for E3.
I think you have to give some explanation who Thorsten is.
Okay, Thorsten's our head of tech. He is also, when it comes to gameplay, the number one person to ask, especially when it's combat related. Like, Thorsten is a combat master in these type of games, and if it would be just him to decide, it would be just combat, no story, no world building. It would be just combat all the time. That's how you can imagine Thorsten to be like. And back in the days, when the Surge 1, like not the Surge 2, what you're playing right now, but its predecessor, was still in development, there's that we were about to go to E3, and I think it was IGN or something like that. Yeah, it must have been IGN. And IGN offered us to be on this stage as well, and they needed some pre-recorded footage for that. And of course, for such situations, you record a perfect run-through without dying or only dying on purpose, right? And our publisher, our former producer, came to our office and recorded with Thorsten all day long until they had that one run where nothing was, glitched, where the camera was perfect, where everything was shown as it was supposed to be. And the problem was that the footage needed to be in France the other day, and it were several terabytes they had to transfer. And the problem was back then that there were some issues with the internet connection at Focus. So they had their hard drive with them, but the train left early. And
oh, that sucks.
And then the files were still copying to the hard drive, and then they said, oh, you know what, just pay an overnight courier, it's fine, it will arrive in time. It was like still 4 hours to go till everything was copied or something like that. Like, these were huge amounts of data. You cannot imagine how big the footage was. And what happened was like, okay, in that room, the computer was left on, and everything was transferred to data. And later in the evening, we had visitors from, I don't know what kind of visitors that were. However, another employee was there, and he saw that the computer was still running, and you know, he turned it off while it was still copying because he didn't notice. And that was the only time I saw Torsten completely going mad. And in the end, we made it, and everything went fine. But that was also, like, I think Florian had to go with a bike to the courier, and the courier was still waiting to pick up the files, and that was so awkward and so weird and so funny at the very same time. The game was presented at the on stage, and it was really well received, and everything went fine. But you know, these kind of things happen, and that's.
Video game development sounds like a lot of fun and also emotional turmoil.
In that case, it was not even development, but just, you know, getting things recorded and to make it available to others, and that was. But yeah.
Sure, the presentation aspect too.
Yeah.
But it's funny you say that. It's actually a little bit relieving to hear you talking about that, because one thing that I was beating myself up over a little bit is I would start a recording session and I would say,
Sync.
this is not good enough. I need to do it again because it needs to be flawless. It needs to present the game in the best light, because that's what I do. That's the purpose of my, you know, job, I guess, as a professional, is to make it look as good as possible. But then I thought, like, that's not really the realistic experience of someone playing it, you know? Mm-hmm. It is, like you say, essentially like me doing an E3 demo.
Yep.
And so what I tried to do is find a compromise, right? Where I have allowed some goofy bullshit to happen.
Although we should add another thing here, like if we do presentations on stage where we are showing up as well. In that case, it was a recorded thing because it was a pre-staged thing where only the moderators show new trailer stuff or new gameplays with no actual developers there. But if we are on stage, we have always a recorded playthrough on a USB stick with us, or on 2 or 3, just to make sure. However, usually, and for the Search 2 this is valid as well, no gameplay where a developer was on stage was faked, so it was all presented live and as, yeah, they were just playing the game.
So that's something that's cool about the Surge too, right? And the first game as well, is that there's not much stuff that's like, you know, scripted events that are basically just things that are easy to fake, to make it look like a person's playing, but they're not really. Yep. The only way to really present this game is to have someone actually play it for you, which is something I like. They give you the reins, and it's like, go for it. You are allowed to experiment with the systems on your own time, which is cool. Like, for example, right, we were told by the doctor to be sneaky going through the little AID command post here, and I watched one of the first previews of the game I saw was going through this area, and they tried to play it like essentially like Metal Gear Solid, emphasis on metal. But me, I don't know. These people are here, and they're hostile, and they already know I'm around, so we might as well make the way clear. But what I mean is, it's really cool that they let you sneak if you want to, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
The drone works from either side of this bioscanner, so if you want to run right up and start tackling these people, you can. I don't recommend it, but you can.
How often did you die to them?
So, you might notice that these enemies are kind of kicking my ass here. This is the reason that we didn't come here earlier. Took one look at the place and walked away. It's because these guys are level 3, which we are-ish. We're getting there. Some of our equipment is that level now, but they're they're real tough enemies. Hammers hit hard in this game.
Oh, they do.
So I may or may not have died to them. I may or may not have.
Personal opinion, the hammer decapitation we have in the game is the best killing animation we ever recorded.
I love it. Oh, that and the punching gloves, punching heads off, kicking heads off, it's awesome.
A critical oath every morning before breakfast.
The recordings for the animation were also fun.
So I saw on your Twitter that you guys did motion capture for the animations. Like all of them, like even the ones that are like way crazy out there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Did you do motion capture for the first game as well?
Yeah, of course. We also use the same studio for it. It is located in Frankfurt as well. It is called Metric Minds. And the artist who's doing the animations, like the movement itself, he is also the same guy who is doing the combat stuff for The Witcher.
Cool. Wow. Small world, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And for the Surge, he was wearing, I think, 20 kilos of material on his body to make the animations feel heavy as well.
Ah, yeah. See, that's an important part of it, right? Is the animations in this game look they look like they have weight to them, right? Like your character is being assisted by the exosuit, but obviously we're still swinging around hammers and stuff that are like the size of our body, so...
And he had to jump and do all that with that extra kilos on his back. That was kind of funny. He was really sweating after that.
I certainly can imagine.
Also, one thing to add, you can only, of course, mocap the humanoid enemies. So if it comes to the robotic statues or the nanite enemies, all of these animations are made by hand with keyframes.
Yep.
You didn't hire any robot dogs to be the security guards?
We couldn't find any.
Yeah.
Nah.
Japanese are not that far yet. Like, they have robotic dogs, but robotic-wise, the development, and they are the fastest there currently, I think.
Isn't it like the Boston...
Boston Dynamics, yeah.
Boston Dynamics
faster than that?
I feel like they have dancing robots on Twitter every other week.
Okay. Maybe we should hire these for motion captures.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know how you would work out the pay situation for a robotic dog, though. I don't know how you would pay him.
I don't know either, but the only robotic dog I know is either from the US military, that bomb defusing dog, I think, and that funny dog from Japan. Like, which has blinking eyes and a blinking nose and stuff, but that's kind of weird, and I'm not sure if our dogs would fit that style of movement.
Yeah, I don't think it would make a good enemy in the Surge 2.
Maybe an enemy you could kill with a protest sign.
Not that there is a protest sign as a weapon in this game or anything like that. That would be silly.
Nah,
definitely
also
not.
Michael wouldn't spoil endgame content, right? Never.
The final boss attacks us with a protest sign. I'll spoil that for you right now.
That would be funny.
It's some sort of like meta commentary on protesting and how effective it is to thwart violence or something like that.
If you say so.
Listen, I've paid attention to the writing of this game. I helped discern the story of the Surge 1. I'm pretty sure I can do the same for this one.
Okay.
So, from the mysterious stranger, who we still don't know who it is, we got Warren's well-used cutter. I don't know what he was doing with that, so we're swinging that around. But he also gave us a copy of his face mask. And that lets our character breathe a little bit, so we're going to be wearing that around for a while. But what's cool is that, like other cosmetic items, it counts towards our set bonuses. And I am kind of hoping you guys can clarify this for me, because I don't know. What happens if you're wearing two partial sets and you have one of those on? Like, do you get the partial set 3 out of 6 for both of them?
Do you know?
No.
I feel like it is. I think that's the idea, but I'm not quite sure.
Never mind. Like, in theory, like how the system is built, it should. But to be honest, we would have to leave the call we're doing right now, go to the Torsten, Felix, and go to another office and just ask, because that is such an interesting question I haven't even thought about so far.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm personally not myself a fashion player, so I don't know. Maybe? I guess so.
So that's what I like about this game, right? Is the Surge 1, you didn't really have any reason to mix and match armor, but being able to wear essentially whatever you want this time, and get a bonus from it is really cool. I liked how the DLC for the Surge 1 added in addition to the donut head, which is the best cosmetic item,
Do not die.
so several new cosmetics that do the same thing as the face mask does, where you can have a little bit of fashion.
Yeah.
Would you like to wear some cowboy boots? You got it. We got cowboy boots now.
Yeah, because why not?
Yeah, exactly. That's one thing I like about this game's sense of humor, right? The Surge one and this game as well, is there's a lot of why not about it, you know? Like, you could have some humor, either black comedy or just normal jokes in there. Doesn't spoil things.
In the Surge 1, you could also find death plates, like with actual dates of the death of certain employees in the future. I think mine is somewhere in 2000 something. The 80s, I think? I don't know.
To 2088 or something, I think.
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember my exact death date.
But hey, on the bright side, thanks to the Surge, now you know when it's going to be.
I hope it won't be there, because in that case I'd be, slightly disappointed. Because in that case I would have known it, like, if it really happens on that one day, and if I could still comment on it on the after death, I would say, God damn, if I would have taken it seriously, I would have lived a better life or a worse life. I don't know, depending on the perspective, I guess.
I would have bought a motorcycle and become an outlaw.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if it was predicted by that, and then I would have robbed a bank or two, something like that.
Wouldn't be wasting my time making video games, that's for sure.
Bought my own island, did not pay back the credit, these sort of things.
So we're headed to the Cloud9 bar right now on the advice, I guess it was advice from Jordan Black. Specifically, she told us to stay away, but we are a curious sort, so I think we're going to ignore her and go do it anyway.
We just talked about the freedom the partial weapon gear bonus gives you. Talking about freedom some more, do you miss the weapon proficiency?
No, actually, I don't.
That's the right answer.
Because I felt like it kind of pigeonholed you a little bit. Like,
sure.
you would get proficient with one specific weapon and get a lot of levels in it, and then you wouldn't want to try anything else because you'd do less damage.
To be honest, like, it was intended as a really good system, like, so that the more you use it, the better you get in it, and that was the main idea. But people did not understand that, especially against later enemies, the weapons would have leveled faster, so they only stayed with one weapon in the end, and yeah, we got rid of it. However, we got lots and lots of requests up front, where people complained about, why did you remove it, you're simpling down the game, you're making it too easy, and whatever, and we were like, no, please, believe us, we're not dumping it down. And luckily, or not luckily, but something we have predicted as well, is like, most people are happy with that new system.
Yeah, so this is something I haven't really touched on so far in the playthrough, because we haven't upgraded anything very far yet, but kind of a sort of replacement for the proficiency system is individual weapons and armor pieces will now get little bonuses as you upgrade them. Like, for example, right, if a piece of armor has minus 10% damage to unarmored parts or something like that, just an example. Upgrading it might reduce that penalty to minus 5%, give you more of an incentive to wear it, It's something that still rewards you for specializing, however, it doesn't penalize you for not specializing, which the proficiency system kind of did. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, we do.
I think I can follow.
Listen, it's like I said to you before we started recording, I don't really have a way with words. I barely speak English, so...
No, what you need to understand, the thing is, you played the game, you've beaten the game 3 times now. And
yes.
I feel like in some parts you are way more informed about the game's mechanics than I am, and I'm sitting here as a representative of Deck 13, and it's kind of embarrassing for me.
No, I don't mean to show you up or anything like that. That's why I brought you guys on, right? I would much rather have you guys here than I said this to Phil the other day. I would much rather have you guys than a like PR suit or whatever, someone who spouts the technical points of the game because it's their job, because they're obligated to. I like this because this is an organic conversation. We're teaching each other.
I'm learning,
It's,
and I feel
it's
like there wouldn't have been any persons to fill the suit role at deck 13. People
Yeah,
around
so-
here are all chill and laid back.
Yeah, and sort of weird.
Yeah, but I think that's key requirement for
Yeah, that's
working
key
here, right?
requirement. Be weird. We're gonna hire you. Oh yeah, also, we are still looking for new employees, so please visit deck13.com and go to the jobs page. We have people from all over the world here, and we are looking for, some additional workers.
And while we're at Jay Miller's plugging, we also have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, a Twitter page, and we do weekly dev blogs on YouTube.
and
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, Phil's trying to secure his job for the future.
Exactly.
I mean, hey, the good news is the power of video editing lets me put all of that on the screen at once and assault the viewer's eyes with it. So if
Alright,
they're
yeah,
watching
that's
the video,
possible.
if they're watching the video, they have no choice but to see the links now. Haha!
Haha.
Thanks.
Click here,
I can.
here, and here. And maybe even here. And if CJ needs another link, here as well.
Fantastic. Now I have to come up with things to put in those locations.
Sweet
Thanks, guys.
puppies.
So these gentlemen are these are two guys I call the DLC twins. This is the Urban Scavenger set, which we got a pop-up for back when we picked up Warren's Cutter. That's when I turned on the DLC. So
And I have to admit, you're really good in fighting them, because they hit like a truck, and if they hit you right now, you'd be probably dead within seconds.
yes, so these gentlemen are using most of the same equipment as your favorite boss and mine, the Black Cerberus of the Surge 1.
Oh, yeah.
They've got very similar moveset, very similar armor, and they hit similarly hard, by which I mean they might put us back into our coma if we get hit by them. So let's not do that. But yes, the Urban Scavenger set is, and their weapon is for, that was the pre-order bonus, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. I don't know if you can, is there a way to get that if you didn't pre-order?
You can buy it right now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's available.
Yeah, okay. So the Surge 1 also had a unique implant and a couple other things for pre-ordering, but you can buy those individually.
Yeah.
Hey, look, Brother Truman's still here. So, Brother Truman, you and I need to have a couple of words about Eli. He seems to have maybe not been so friendly to me. If you wanna fight Brother Truman, you can do it as soon as you walk out of the JCPD, and he's like level 8 or 9. So it's a tough fight, but you can beat him. Now
Yeah,
we're a little bit more prepared.
We've actually seen a few people who actually beat him on stream in their first try.
Those people are better at video games than I am, because we ain't even gonna try
These
it.
people are better in video games than we are too. Like, the both of us, not everyone in this company probably, because I know a few people who killed him too, but anyways, better than any one of the two of us here.
Out of the three of us, those people are better than us.
Yo, see, Jacobs, I'm in a bit of a pickle. I
Okay.
really want Michael to tell a story, but there's no good moderation bridge for that. Can you just ask him about the Netflix story?
So, Michael, Phil tells me about this interesting story that you may have to tell us about Netflix. Please, feel free to kindly inform us.
Okay, have you seen the show Dark by Netflix?
I have not, but I'm sure some of the viewers probably have.
Okay, since you're such a big fan, you maybe should.
Such a big fan of Dark, right?
No, of The Surge. Because it might be that, especially in the first season, The Surge has a feature there with even with split screen co-op, and how it
yeah, I heard about that actually.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And how that ended there is like The producers of the show, they knew one of our former bosses, and then the show is made in Germany, and they wanted to have a game in the show in that one scene, and so they knew us, and they knew the Surge, and it did fit from its grimdark tone, and they got in touch, and then they asked us if they could use it, and we were like, yeah, sure, why not? And then they were like, okay, but we need multiplayer because the scene is based on multiplayer. It's like, okay, we don't have any multiplayer, and I'm not sure if we can fake it because the game's currently in production. It was, I think, a few months before it went into alpha. So really early on in production, and only the first level was done, but you know, quite some armor sets were there, and the solution was basically to give them pre-recordings of the first level, the abandoned production, and just film it in different armor sets, and then they could fake the split screen with that. But yeah, that's how the game ended up in dark, actually, and the game like we didn't expect any outcome from this, but fun fact, the show was super successful for Netflix. I think are they producing a third season? I don't know.
I think there are rumors, not sure.
Yeah, there are rumors, of course, like for any show probably. However, like the second season was very successful from what I heard as well. And like it got super popular, and once in a while, every time you see a thread on Reddit, hey, there's the Surge in Dark. It's like, even IGN reported about it, and Kotaku and many others. It's kind of funny.
Yep. Yeah, and I gotta wonder, do you occasionally get questions? Hey, I picked up the Surge too. How do I play split screen?
Yeah, we do.
It reminds me of there was back in the day there was an episode of Breaking Bad where Jesse Pinkman is playing the video game Rage by id Software, and he's playing it with a light gun, like it's Time Crisis or something, and it fits the scene. It fits the scene and the tone really well. But you can't play that game with a light gun.
I bet they got requests from like, where's the light gun controller as well. Like that is kind of common because people like if they see it, they're gonna expect it. But most times it's sadly pre-recorded fake stuff.
Yeah.
In that case, like it is the footage you see there is from an early pre-alpha of the Surge, so it's not even comparable to the final game anymore.
Yeah, so that's something I wanted to bring up at some point, right? Is I mentioned it during the fight with Little Johnny briefly, but I was part of the beta for the Surge 2. You guys posted on Twitter asking for, I think you said 50 or so applicants, 5 something, and you got thousands of applicants.
I think like 4,000 people
5,000 in 24 hours, and we had to stop we wanted to have the application forum open for I think a week or so, and we had to close it before the 24 hours were over because we had way too many applicants for it. It's like
that's just so funny. It's funny to me, but I'm so glad that you guys have found such success. It makes me so happy, because I like to think that this might be a little bit egotistical of me, but I like to think I have contributed a little, because my speedrun of the Surge 1 has it's crazy. It's got almost 100,000 views now, and it's insane the amount of people that have been turned on to this game by watching footage of other people playing it, and to see people so excited about playing the Surge 2. I wanted to mention that because it's so cool. I love it.
Glad you love it.
And I think you also got a place in Michael's heart, because when I started working here half a year ago, on my second or third day, Michael told me about your speedrunning, and
because he was currently speedrunning it, I think.
Yeah. But
yeah.
You regard him as part of the Surge IP, at least community-wise, right?
Did I? Okay. Cool.
Again, that's part of the reason why I wanted to have you guys on, right? Is because you guys said to me, we're not developers, we're media people, and that's perfectly acceptable, because the way Deck 13 runs, you guys are part of the team. You guys know the game.
Most of it. If you ask us for if certain items are, just cosmetic, and if they are like if you wear 2 of them and they still adjust the stats of the player or not, in that case we have to pass
If
on.
you would ask about stuff like partial set bonuses, if you activate 2 partial set
Yeah,
bonuses,
like
do they
that
work
stuff.
at the
It's
same
like
time?
whatever.
Stuff like
yeah,
that, right?
in that case, we don't know it.
I would
rest?
never do anything like that. But see, that's what I like, right? Is you guys, Deck 13 in general, you guys seem like normal people who just like making video games and
Trust
being a part
me,
of it.
we're anything but not normal.
All
No one
right,
here.
well, you seem like average human beings, let's say. You're not.
We are
you're not
human
robots.
beings. That can be said.
That's the nicest thing someone has said this year to me. You seem like an average human being.
Yeah, but just because you're sitting in our office.
You mean compared to the surroundings?
Yeah, exactly. Like our office is toxic against you, so that's fine. Like
Yeah, but I'm used to it right now.
true.
I guess that's true. I take back everything I said. I don't know your office politics, so maybe you hate each other.
No. We have no office policies. Like everyone hates everyone, and everyone's making fun of everyone. And that, we're doing games for masochistic people. We're rather sadistic, I think.
So what you're saying is you're Germans.
Wow! So nice, we got some racism in as well.
Listen. I told a friend of mine that I would make a joke similar to that, and I'm fulfilling a promise to them. Disclaimer. I love Germans.
Okay, well done.
Okay.
You redeemed
Yeah,
yourself.
and the next sentence he's gonna say is like, I like Germans because they have bratwurst and sauerkraut.
Also, he said he's going to edit it, right? He's going to cut out the part where he said he loves Germans.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, I'm just gonna incriminate myself. That's all I do in these videos anyway.
Yeah, but what's the point anymore?
I can feel
People up
that.
there are too numb to worry at this point. They want to forget whatever's going on down here.
I want to forget what I just said as well, Mason.
Yeah, regarding that, like Phil said something about something I said months ago, and I don't even know what I said this morning. So, holy hell!
I just told him that you like him, and you were just trying to downplay it. Can you just admit it?
No, never. Never.
It's okay, you guys. Your willingness to be on these videos tells me enough already.
Well,
I was
yeah,
roped
well,
into this.
Yeah, exactly. And I just wanted to make fun of you.
Well, you know what? You did a good job, both of you.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate having you here, and I'm sure the viewers love having, insight into the just what it's like to be part of Deck 13 and a team that actually gives a shit about what they're doing.
Yeah, as we said, you can work for us. Please visit our homepage, our Twitter channel, our YouTube channel.
I'll put up the links again.
Thank you.
Here, and here.
So while we're saying goodbye here, thank you guys very much for joining me. It was a blast having you.
We confused him. We broke him.
I may be a little broken because this is the first time anything like this has ever happened to me. Glad to have you here, guys. And I will see all the viewers next time.
I enjoyed my time being here.
Yep,
And
it
I
was
think
fun.
Michael did as well, even if he won't admit it.
No,
I would just tell you
will-
Michael enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
exactly. No. What? I'm not admitting anything.